Hey, this is Billy Vega from Billy Vega Scale Model Garage, and this is the garage. Um, this is a 12 by 20 utility shed that my wife bought, I believe in about 2013, and it was made to order with vinyl siding and shutters and the shingles and everything to match our house. And interior was not finished. It was all just studded plywood floor. And I'm not really a handyman, so I had to watch some YouTube videos and everything on how to complete it. So anyway, we're gonna walk inside and take a look around. And basically, like I say, being made to order, you could put the windows anywhere you wanted to. I actually had my wife to fax them a floor plan. So knowing that basically the sides were going to be nothing but storage shelves to place the models in, I had the door offset to one side and one window for light. And like I said, mainly just storage shelves from top to bottom. I got most of my models situated by make and manufacturer. So I got most of the old Chevrolets gathered together in a section, and I got most of my Pro Street cars gathered up, and I got the Camaros and the Firebirds and the Novas. Like I said again, and all of it in there about 2 rows deep. This shelf here with all the boot boxes is basically projects that I've started on, and just some of the sub-assemblies that's in there, and I just got them organized. And as you can see, I got quite a few projects in the works. Some of them been a long time since I fooled with them. My main bench is a corner computer desk, and like I said, with the floor plan, they was able to put the windows where you wanted. I measured the computer desk in the corner of the basement where I originally was at, and I had the windows placed to each side. Like I said, doing some careful measuring when the bench was in the basement, and provided those in the floor plan so they was able to put my windows, so I'm able to get plenty of light. On top of, when I installed my drop ceiling again, I watched a video. I'm not rich, and when I got an estimate of doing the drop ceiling of $1,200, I figured, well, I better watch some videos and figure out how to do it myself. So this was my first drop ceiling, and I think it actually turned out pretty well. I installed the fluorescent lights. I put the paneling in the shop, insulated it. I ran all the electrical. Like I said, this is my main workbench. Magnifying light. This simple piece of 2x4. Holes drilled in it to arrange my tools. I got my glues sorted out and adhesives, and simple things like using this tape dispenser cases, Q-tips and toothpicks and drill bits, just keep things organized. And got my clamps up there. There's my breaker panel. Again, taking careful measurements of where to put it at as far as where my bench was related to. And there's a nice thing my wife had made online. It's got pictures of some of my models on it, and I like a collage. There's a Vega clock, because I really liked Vegas when I was coming up, still do. And that's not one of my builds right there. That actually came out of a box of models from the 60s. And it was something that somebody had done. It was given to me. It's got the original instructions. It was a 69 GTO that was assembled in 69. And I decided not to restore it, just leave it as is. And it's, you know, something that was done back in the 60s, so it's a piece of history. Some of my favorite awards. Just a quick little scan of those. just in case somebody's interested. Okay, enough of that. This is my very inexpensive paint booth, and it actually was a old fiberglass shop sink. And flipped it on the side. Got my regulator filter mounted to it. Below is a cheap Harbor Freight air compressor. It does what I need. And I mounted one of those Dayton, I believe it's maybe a 45 CFM fan inside. It's got plenty of draw. I got plenty of room. Got me a little temperature and humidity gauge. So when the humidity is up like it is right now, I really shouldn't be painting lacquers. Although the light that I got usually does pretty good with keeping the moisture. And got my controls, the light on, fan on. And that's my paint booth in operation. Like I said, it does good for what I needed to do. I needed some climate control. So the winter was cold out here. All I had was a Eden Pure heater. Was working a lot of overtime at the time. Was able to save up. Got a good deal on a mini split heat and AC. So it keeps it climate controlled year round. Does pretty good. This is my second bench. This is where I like to, if I got to do a lot of heavy sanding, grinding, I usually do it over here and keep the dust away from my main bench where I do the main assembly. And of course I will clean up real good and vacuum out my paint booth before I do any painting to keep it from getting contaminated. Paints, I got those mainly organized from my engine enamels and interior colors down on the bottom. And I got my regular general hobby enamels there, next shelf up. Then I got the lacquers divided by color and sorted. And at the top, a few specialty colors, specific colors. And then on the top, I got my primers. Again, try to keep things organized where I can find it. And then getting back to the kits, I got my trucks. And a big thing that I had to do later on as I accumulated more aftermarket stuff, I had to end up getting some bins and actually sorting everything out to keep up with everything, because I was getting way overloaded. I can remember back in the day only having one bin of parts, and now I hoard everything I can get. If I work overtime, get a bonus or something from work, then I'll just try to hoard up as many parts as I can, because I never know when I'm not going to have the money to do it. More kits. Got like the Fords, divided up. Mainly a General Motors man, and I've got nothing against Fords. I just don't seem to get around to building them. And I got my Mopars and AMCs divided up. And last shelf is nothing but just parts kits. They're in there 2 rows deep. Sometimes I just buy kits full of parts. And as you can see, this big table here in the middle. Sometimes I got more chairs. Sometimes me and a few of my friends will get together and we'll actually have meetings out here and share projects that we're working on. Alright. Well, just thought y'all like to see where I do my building at. This is Billy Vega. See you later. Bye.